Okay. All right. Part of teaching is about repeating. And I've just got my note here. Right. Just to remind you again, and we're getting back to week 1 and week 2, where we have a basic triangle. All right. And you learned that in the thing. This is going to be in the exam, so this is all good. Remember. All right. So you know that there's the pressure. All right. You know then there's rationalization. And the big one when we go to e-commerce fraud is opportunity, all right? This is the big one, all right? This is, the opportunity is just multiplied, as I said earlier. But now that we know that that's the problem, what do we do about it if we are selling on e-commerce so we are not victims? Like when you are selling on e-commerce, are you the consumer or are you the merchant? Hello?
Merchant.
Yeah, you're the merchant. So up until now, when we talked a lot about frauds, we talked about frauds against the consumer. The consumer is the victim. But a lot of chapter 17 is about, no, here are frauds where the merchant is the victim and consumers are bad because consumers pretend that something doesn't work so they don't have to pay. And they do the chargeback or they return something, all right? All right, but if you're the merchant, how can you control this opportunity? And I've got another triangle here I want you to think about, and that is, you've got the control environment. The control environment, we've got the risk assessment, and we've got, at the bottom, I would say we've got SAPID. There, right? Separation of duties, proper authorization, physical checks, independent checks, documentation. All right. Again, this is actual auditing 101. You check, right? This is your boring auditing, but that doesn't go away. You have to have stuff in it. But when we talk about controlled environment, what are we talking about? We're talking about the first big money slide. Remember? All right, creating a culture of honesty, eliminating opportunities. All right, work on that here. But what about risk assessment? That's a combination of the control environment. It's a combination of the electronic transactions, which you have to think about and control. Remember,
Risk assessment? Is that his risk assessment?
Risk assessment.
And control environment.
Yes, correct.
Thanks.
All right. We're talking about ET, so we're talking about electronic transactions. So the example we showed earlier, HTTPS, is an example of securing electronic transactions. All right. And then you got identity or identity detection. All right. So why do we say these three things here? Because up until when we're not in e-commerce, we didn't have to worry so much about ID, did we? And when we're not in e-commerce, we didn't have to worry about electronic transactions. We really just, for the first 2/3 or 3/4 of this unit, we just focused on the control environment. But when e-commerce comes along, we need to secure the electronic transactions. We need to make sure that the transaction is secure, and we need to be able to identify who are we transacting with. All right. And so the risk assessment expands beyond just the environment the transaction is occurring in, because the environment is just big. All right. And so that's what you have to think about in e-commerce. So, and this is your basic auditing, all right? That's always around, okay? All right, here's your money slide for the first quarter of this unit, right? That never goes away. But e-commerce makes the risk goes pear-shaped. That's what you need to be aware of, okay? The control environment, electronic transactions, and ID. Do you know who your buyer is? Do you know who your supplier is? Ah, okay. Right. Because I have purchased fake iPhones in Hong Kong when I was there for 1/10 of the price. Easy peasy. You can get a lot of fake electronics in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, just north of the border. Okay, so keep that in mind. I think this is kind of summarising my summary of chapter 17 here. Okay, just think about that. Your money slide doesn't go away. Your auditing, this is your auditing money slide, SAPID. All right, repeat again. Separation of duties, proper authorisation, physical checks, independent, so physical controls, independent checks, documentation. Okay, right, that doesn't go away. That doesn't go away. But this is what balloons out of control. Okay. Let's go back to you. Questions that you have, and I'm happy to answer questions that you have. Do I read them? Did you type them in, or are you going to read them out for me? Have you typed them in? Have you typed in a question?
I typed one in.
Okay.